Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I've got a hot case of being healthy, fit, strong, energetic, lean, and I'm going to stay that way for the rest of my life. Sounds a little bit silly, doesn't it? Because mostly when people go to the doctor, it's because they're sick or they're injured. So God forbid you end up in a doctor's office, a medical professional's office, or worse, a hospital, because you're sick or injured. What questions are you going to ask? Who do you believe? Who can you trust? And it's a really controversial question, because you might have a doctor that you've been going to all of your life and you trust them. You might have a naturopath, a chiropractor, a physiotherapist. You trust them, you believe in them, they've helped you before. The challenge I've got with that, of course, and this is just from my heart to yours because I've been doing this a really long time, unfortunately, the top killer in the world is coronary heart disease. The second one's type 2 diabetes. Both of those are where your body doesn't get oxygen, blood and nutrients around effectively, so you end up with a very serious disease or you die. But the third biggest killer is medical misdiagnosis. So one doctor says you've got this and it was the wrong diagnosis, or the doctor says take these pills and it was the wrong pill, medication, pharmaceutical intervention, and people have gotten really sick and they've died from that. In not just one or two, it's the third biggest killer in the world, depending on which Western country you have a look at and have a look at the statistics. So how do you stop that from happening? And of course, you could say, well, it's just bad luck. The doctor made a mistake and they're human, they make a mistake. But here's something that I've lived my life with, and it might be helpful for you. When I talk to doctors, and all kinds, whether it's an orthopaedic surgeon for bones, oncologist for cancer, cardiologist for heart, endocrinologist for the hormonal system, I have a lot of those people in my life. Because I'm an exercise professional, have been all of my life, and because I have an international fitness business college, I have to be involved in top-level education. So when I talk to those people, psychologists, gynecologists, exercise physiologists, any ologist you can think of, I always ask lots and lots of questions. And I want to share with you very personally what the answer is a lot of the time, in fact most of the time, from those medical professionals. Rowie, how come you know so much about, and if it's a endocrinologist, it'll be the hormonal system. If it's a neurosurgeon, it'll be the brain. If it's a cardiologist, it'll be the heart. Rowie, how come you know so much about these areas of the body? And I have a very simple answer, and I hope that you would love to have the same answer. Because I've got one. Rowie, how come you know so much about the endocrine system, the hormones in your body? Because I have an endocrine system, and I want to be a healthy, fit, strong, powerful, energetic human being for the rest of my life. So I know that hormones are the reasons why we stay alive, why we thrive, and why the body works effectively. So I want to know how the hormonal system works so that I can be in control of my hormones, not the other way round. To me, that's just a logical answer. Anything to do with the brain, so whether it's neuroscience or psychology or psychiatry, those doctors, and they're top doctors and they've studied for years and years, but they always say to me, Rowie, how come you know so much about the central nervous system? How come you know so much about how the brain works? Because I've got one. I want to know how my brain works, because obviously my brain affects the rest of my body. And if my brain's not working, then I'm going to have some serious challenges. And as I always share, my father died of Alzheimer's, which is a disease, technically a rotting of the brain, and I was told that I would get that disease because he was my father and he had it, and I just wasn't going to buy into that. So I started studying the brain. Because I'm an exercise professional, of course I have to understand the central nervous system, the endocrine system, the skeletal system, the muscular system, the digestive system, the immune system. Now the immune system's really interesting because a lot of people share with me they're sick, so they go to the doctor. But I always have a better question than what did the doctor say? Why did you get sick? Oh, because I've got a weak immune system. No, wrong answer. Why have you got a weak immune system? And if you've got a weak immune system, how can you have a strong one? It's not a genetic thing. Oh, I've got a weak immune system because I'm genetically designed for that. How can I strengthen my immune system so I can fight germs, bugs, viruses and diseases? So I just use that as a simple side note. Because if you've got a strong immune system, is it possible that you can fight germs, bugs, viruses and diseases? You've got, and not just sickness, what about injury? Your immune system's responsible if you get a cut or a bite or an infection of any kind. Your immune system's designed to help fix that. So your immune system's built inside your bones. which means if you have weak bones that are wasting away because you get older, is it possible that your immune system that's built inside your bones will also waste away? So how do I get strong bones? I've got to overload my bones. I've got to put them under pressure. How do I do that? I've got to have strong muscles. If I've got strong muscles pulling on my bones will stay stronger, which consequently my immune system will be strong. Isn't that awesome? So orthopedics, skeletal system, muscular system, which technically you could talk about exercise physiology, is then connected to the immune system. But then how do I make sure that I get the right nutrients, vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, antioxidants to make sure that my whole body's working well? Well, that's the digestive system. Then the whole thing to do with the endocrine system, which is all the different organs in your body, the organs of the endocrine system, to make sure that everything is working and in working order. And if it isn't, then how do I fix it? They're, to me, all really important things. So how do I get strong muscles and bones to make my immune system strong? How do I make sure that my endocrine and central nervous system strong so that they fire up my skeletal and muscular system and my digestive system? See how it all works together. Now, I'm perplexed, as you can hear, I'm lost for words. I live in my body and I've got to live in my body for the rest of my life. How about you? I'm not going to trust my body to somebody else. I don't care how many years of study they've done and what kind of expertise they've got in the heart or the muscles or the bones or the brain or the hormonal system. I need to ask intelligent questions so that I get the right answers, which is why since my father was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, have been studying the brain, and because I'm an exercise professional, I study everything to do with the human body, anatomy and physiology and the body systems. I study that every single day. So why am I banging on about this? So many people, and I work with people every single day who share with me they're depressed, they're anxious, they haven't got enough energy, they're overweight, they've got type 2 diabetes, they've got asthma, they get sick all the time. I always get a flu in winter, or I've always got a cold, or I always feel weak and tired. Wouldn't you want to know why? And rather than rely on an expert, and this is without being disrespectful, but have you noticed that when you go to a medical professional, they will usually give you an intervention that involves medicine, pills, pharmaceuticals, pills, powders, potions, as I call it. And there are great, amazing medicines in the world. But is that the first stop? If you've got a weak immune system, if you've got weak bones and weak muscles, and that causes your weak immune system, wouldn't it be better to find out how do I strengthen my muscles and bones so that I have a strong immune system, rather than let's take a pill for that? And I use an interesting example. My mother was diagnosed at 74 with advanced osteoporosis, thin bones, which of course means that she picked up every germ that came into her life. She was sick all the time. She had asthma. She was tired and lethargic. People just said she's 74 years of age. She's old. Of course, that's how she's going to feel. But when we strengthened her muscles, which then strengthened her bones, and she had a bone mineral density test and we had gotten rid of her osteoporosis, we're now talking a different woman. So first of all, because she had strong bones now, she had great posture. At 70, the next bone mineral density test she was 80 years of age. She was standing up straight. She was boxing. She was lifting heavy weights. She was running up and down stairs. She was swimming in the ocean. She had a completely new life because she'd gotten her muscles and bones strong, and she'd gotten her heart and lungs strong, which of course is the cardiovascular and respiratory system. That's the one that spreads vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals and antioxidants throughout your body, because that's through the bloodstream and through your oxygen supply. Now, I'm just asking, again, this is my begging position. If you're ever sick, if you're ever tired, if you're ever diagnosed with a medical condition, if you've got kids that are ever diagnosed with a medical condition, and there's lots of diagnosis. It could be ADHD, it could be asthma, it could be type 2 diabetes, it could be now obesity is considered a disease. If your child gets diagnosed, your child's got the disease of obesity, take a drug, versus your child is unhealthy, unwell, and all of these systems in their body are busted and broken. How can we fix those systems rather than here, take a pill? Now, again, it doesn't mean that the pill doesn't work, and it doesn't mean don't take pills. But could it be a really good idea to ask intelligent questions? And I'm just going to give you a couple of examples. I've had too many people in my life that have been, number one, told they're going to die. You're going to die, you've got cancer, you're going to die, you've got coronary heart disease, you're going to die, your brain's not working properly. They got fit, they got strong, they built back their muscles, which then built back their bones, which then built back their immune system, and they became again tough, strong human beings. So is it possible? Of course it is. And maybe that it's not possible. Maybe it won't work for you and your diagnosis. But what if it did? And if you have a look at medical intervention, any kind of pharmaceutical drug, they have horrible side effects. So if somebody says, here, take this drug, it might stop you from dying, but you're going to have all of these horrible side effects happen. You're going to be sick, you're going to be tired, you're going to vomit, your bum's going to leak, you're going to... some of the mind-altering drugs is the ones that blow my mind, because you're going to take this drug so that you feel happy because you're depressed at the moment, but one of the side effects of a mind-altering drug is suicidal tendencies. And if you read the side effect list, it's actually at the top of the list. So this is just me as a lady who'd love everybody to be healthy, fit and strong. Why not learn about your body for yourself? How come you know so much about the endocrine system? Because you've got one. Why would you want to know so much about how the brain works? Because you've got one. Why would you want to know how the muscular and skeletal system works? Because that's what holds you upright and keeps you going for the rest of your life. The quickest way to get old is to lose muscle and to lose bone strength. That's how you get old, because you can't do anything, and if you can't do anything, your body wastes away, so you get old. If your brain's not working properly, it wastes away and you get old and you die like my father did of Alzheimer's. So here's the thing. Do you want to be healthy? Do you want to be strong? Do you want to have a stack of energy? Do you want to be able to sing, "Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I've got a fat case of being healthy, being fit, being strong, being lean, being energetic. I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to go to the hospital. I want to be a healthy, fit, strong human being for the rest of my life." And is it possible, if you learn how this thing that you live in, I live in my body for the rest of my life, you're going to live in your body for the rest of your life? Could it be a really good idea to learn how it works rather than trusting an expert? Because remember, the experts disagree. If you go to two different doctors, you'll most likely get two different opinions and two completely different suggestions on how you should fix whatever your challenge is. But if you go to that expert with the right questions, you might be able to figure out for yourself which one. And I always ask this question: why are you diagnosing me with this? How can I stop it from happening again? Why have you decided I should take this drug? And what are the side effects of this drug? I think that's the most important thing. Because if there's a better way to get fit, get strong, stay healthy, that has nothing to do with going to the doctor or the hospital, and they usually don't. Most people go to hospital and come out sick. They don't go to hospital. And I'll rephrase that. Are we sick, weak, unhealthy, diseased, overweight because of our lack of pills, potions, powders and pharmaceuticals? Probably not. Is it possible that we are weak and sick and frail and overweight, as the world is heading very fast? Most populations in the Western world are getting sicker and weaker and more diseased and more overweight every single day. Is it possible that that happened because we've got weak muscles and bones? We don't have a strong cardiovascular and respiratory system. Our endocrine system that's meant to protect us is wasted away. And our immune system, which is built inside our bones, is also wasted away. So there's my last question. Are you getting puffed on a regular basis? Puffed so that you get fit. You've got to overload your heart and lungs to get fit. Are you getting puffed? Your immune system's built inside your bones. If your bones are wasting away, then you're going to get weak, and so are your muscles. So what are you doing to keep your muscles strong, to keep your bones strong, to keep your immune system strong? If you're not lifting heavy things, if you're not overloading your muscles and bones, you're not going to get strong. Walking doesn't cut it. Easy exercise doesn't cut it. What are you doing to get puffed? What are you doing to lift heavy so that you stay fit and you stay strong? That controls your metabolism, so then you can stay lean, and it also controls your brain, which means you can stay happy. Wouldn't it be awesome to be happy, healthy, fit and strong for the rest of your life? So you can sing every day like I do. Super duper doo, I am amazing and I feel fantastic because I'm healthy, fit and strong and I love my life. Woohoo!